Hey guys, good morning. Before I start the video, I do want to say please like, subscribe, and comment. If you want to join the Patreon, you can join at patreon.com/ but I'm not a trader. Spots are filling up. I have my first tier locked on Patreon just because it hit all the members. There's actually another tier that's opened. But again, spots are filling up. So really, if you want to join, cool. If not, you don't have to. The link is in the description, and I might put it in the comments as well for you guys. This is going to be a little bit more of a different video. I'm not really TA, mostly, essentially if you're looking at, long-term investment, right? For those of you guys that don't have the indicators, right, you guys obviously don't know when to actually purchase specific stocks, right? Because a lot of my big portfolio is focused, like my main portfolio is focused on just buying on the weekly triggers and holding long-term, right? Essentially what you would do for 401k in your own long-term investment portfolio, anything that's basically you're looking to invest in 5+ years, right? And again, always use the logic of like, if you believe in a company, that's how you invest in it, right? And then it kind of trickles down to, if you believe in a company, what are similar companies, and do you think they're going to come into business or they're going to stay in business within the next 5-10 years, right? It's a very common practice. There's like a book that I read in college about common sense investing, where essentially goes into really thinking about stocks and companies in a very simple and logical way, right? Where it comes down to like, hey, is this company going to be in business 3 months from now, 1 year from now, 5 years, 10 years, right? And then it's a very logical and easy question, right? For like, let's take the top three companies, right? Do we think Nvidia, Apple, and Microsoft are going to be in business in the next 5-10 years? Yes. Right? Are they going to keep growing? More than likely, yes. So you put money into those companies, right? Essentially, that's how common sense investing works, right? And what a lot of people do is they invest usually around, in their 401k, they invest like every 2 weeks or so, or if they're just trading by themselves or investing by themselves, generally they do about them every month or so, right? That's the typical investment. But what I wanted to do for you guys today, happy Father's Day, first of all, to everybody. I did want to show you guys a nice little trick that obviously you need the indicators for this, right? For specifically my custom build indicators, right? And you guys know where to get them. But this is what I do on TradingView, just to get a general understanding of which stocks are actually going to be maybe possibly doing something really good in like the next, holding for like a while, right? So usually what I do, I go to my TradingView app, right? I go on, if I'm looking to specifically invest in high volatility, right? Then I go, not volatility, but just high growth, right? I go down to the filters, I go to NASDAQ, right? NASDAQ, hit the close. And then obviously you have every single ticker here on which, TradingView think it's the most likelihood of, being the most popular. I guess you can say that, right? So as of right now, Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, QQQ, AMD are the most popular, stocks right now in the Nasdaq fund, right? And again, if you go to the Nvidia, obviously this is gonna be the most popular stock right now. Obviously, Nvidia is the hottest one, right? And then you go down to like your other FANG, right? You go into Tesla, Apple, QQ, whatever. But if you're looking at investing long term, right? Usually, what I do is I end up going into the weekly charts, and I only look for anything that's in like the lower part of the stochastic, right? And closing a bull week, right? So again, very simple and easy to understand, right? Obviously with my indicators, it's a lot easier than just kind of blindly investing. But again, with the indicators right now, SMCI, I'm going to give you guys like 5 tickers that I think are probably going to be really good investments over the next probably couple of months. I wouldn't necessarily say for a couple of years, just because we've already had an extremely huge run up from lows, right? So again, the last time that, this was triggering for bullish momentum, right, on SMCI, you were getting, ever since the 16th, you were getting really good entries on SMCI, right? Back here at like $15, bro, right? So 26, right? 15, all the way down to $15 before you had that huge, massive rally. We can probably go even lower or even higher time frame, right? To the 3 month, right? So the first time the 3 month trigger on my indicators happened was right here at $23, and then it gave it again right here at 21. So if you're specifically looking for like very long term, and again, this one came really close here, right? And again, perfect, almost perfect entry because the stochastic was right here at low, but it did give the trigger down here at, you know, $13 before rallying to 41, and this was back in July of 2013, right? So again, the three month is a very, very, very good indication of when to actually invest, right? And again, same thing right here for the QQQ. The only time it gave this was back in July of 2009, right? And it gave the signal at $42, right? It hasn't given a perfect entry yet. Another perfect entry here, right, at 24 before rallying like fucking ridiculous, right? And again, I can go to Bitcoin, I can go to anything. The 3 month generally is an insane spot to call the bottom of the market, right? And that's just facts, right? That's really just it. But again, we're looking at more for, you know, maybe some new investments that we can look at for your long term, right? So again, AVGO, you already have it, right? We can go to maybe like Adobe. I think Adobe was dropping. Yeah, so Adobe would have been Adobe would have been a really good entry point at 477, right? And then it would have been another really good entry point at 465. So this would have been a really good addition to your long term. Obviously not now because you already pushed this week like crazy, I think because of the earnings, right? But let's look for some more stuff. ARM already gave the weekly trigger right here, right? ARM already gave the trigger at 114. You would have been up probably a shit ton of money, honestly. Mara, NDX, Google, TLT. Let's go with PayPal, right? PayPal, not yet, right? PayPal's getting close to giving you some nice entries there. Let's go with the Hood. Yeah, I think for the most part, a lot of these stocks are already like completely oversold to the upside where, you know, hitting, you know, where investing is going to be a little bit, you know, I would say over, like too overbought right now, right? There's no good entries right now. Yeah, there's not too much things to like put into. Costco, yeah, you see how everything is on the top half of the stochastic? Like nothing I would consider a perfect entry right now. So there we go. Airbnb, perfect example, right? So Airbnb just closed a bullish trigger, right? So I would 100% look at possibly adding longs here on Airbnb, although I don't like this candle too much, right? But I would look at Airbnb possibly hitting new all-time highs, right? So this would be a really good add into your portfolio, right? Because you could possibly go all the way back to 170 and break highs from here, right? What about the monthly? What does the monthly look like? The monthly looks like it just closed here. Let's see what it can give us. I do like this actually. Let's check. Yeah, I would say that's pretty close. At least for channels, that's not too horrible. Yeah, I would definitely say that right now you have a really good chance at possibly going back to like 185, even though the monthly, right? The monthly kind of came down, but every single time the monthly, like last time the monthly closed like this, right? You still ran up, right? So I would trust the weekly more. And again, the Airbnb is at a really good spot to add some long positions because again, the weekly has been extremely accurate, right? Entry was here, right? Entry was here again. Entry was perfect entry around here. Entry, perfect entry here. So Airbnb, really good spot to add, right? Let's see what's on the week again. CLSK, really good spot to add right now. CLSK looks really, really good to push to the upside. And again, these are just more for your guys' sauce, right? It's more of like a happy Father's Day to everybody that, you know, that's a dad. And if you guys want to add to your long term, CELH getting close, right? But again, you already have Airbnb as a really good entry, right? Let's look for anything else. Yeah, nothing yet. What about PDD? I don't know. I'm really just going one by one, honestly, to see if there's anything that's closing on the bottom. What about Wolf? Wolf, I wouldn't necessarily say Wolf yet. I really like to get into entries, right, or add to my long term. There we go. Zscaler looks really good, right? You actually closed the perfect entry back here on 177. You're a little bit above that, but I would still consider entering right there. Maybe the monthly is going to be closing soon too. No, the monthly is returning to 2 week just closed as well. Look at that, right? I would definitely consider adding right now, at least to your long term for Zscaler, right? 2 week closed, pushed, ran up, right? 2-week close, 156, ran up to 185. And again, you only add to companies where you think that you actually like for the long term. I'm not 100% familiar with Zscaler, but it's been, it's essentially been going up since April of 2023, right? Before this like nice little drop here. I do think that it broke structure, right? Literally what happened is you came up, right? You broke this structure here. You came up, came back down and retested the most recent liquidity, which is like around this level. And then now I think you're probably going to push up. And I think you're more than likely headed to 227. After 227, you're probably going to go to 295 and 334. So I'm definitely looking at this. This would be a really good entry because, you're looking at some really good push to the upside, right? So first target would be, I'd say here, 22%. Second target is 59%, and third target would be 80%. And you can probably hit this within like the next 6 months to a year. So really, this is more for you guys. I really do think that as of right now, like I said, generally, I think for like the long term, especially, like I have the best indicators in the entirety of capitalism, right? So again, let's go Pepsi. Yeah, Pepsi, not yet. Let's go with something else. Literally just going randomly, right? What about Tilray? Tilray, right? Tilray. So it did push up to where I wanted it to, which is good. It does look like it's going to be a really good entry soon on Tilray, right? See? Stochastic at lows. When you close a bull week, right, here on the triggers, Tilray would be a really good entry. Let's go with something random. eBay. What about eBay? No, eBay's going to come down. What about T-Mobile? No, that thing shot up. But look at that, right? Perfect entry. T-Mobile would have been right here. 163, you would have kept holding. You would have been up a decent amount, right? And that's just on the weekly, right? And again, Okta. Okta looks like it's going to be a really good entry soon, right? Okta looks really, really good. But again, you got to wait for that trigger. But again, these are all just for you guys. Happy Father's Day. These are all some free sauces for you guys to add to your long term, right? If you want the indicators, join the Patreon, right? But yeah, that's basically it. This is a video more to kind of help you guys understand, how easy it is to actually add to your long term investment instead of just, adding to your portfolio like every 2 weeks like everybody else. So I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.